Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going on a magical journey to a place far away from the hustle and bustle of city life, right on the edge of a whispering green forest. It's a story about a little boy, a very special tree, and a big lesson about respect. So, get cozy, because this is one you won't want to miss. Our story begins with a lively little boy named Ethan. He was the kind of kid who had sunshine in his smile and endless energy in his feet. Ethan loved exploring the forest near his home. He'd race through the trees, climb branches like a nimble squirrel, and knew all the best spots to hear the birds singing their happy tunes. He was curious, adventurous, and, well, sometimes a tiny bit mischievous. But there was one big thing Ethan often overlooked: how important it was to be respectful of the incredible nature around him. Deep within that very forest, standing taller and wider than any other tree, was a magnificent old oak. This tree was ancient, a true elder of the woods, with a trunk so thick it looked like it had seen countless seasons come and go. Its enormous branches reached up to the sky, creating a beautiful canopy that offered cool, generous shade to all the creatures beneath. This grand oak was a bustling apartment building for the forest. Birds built their cozy nests in its strong limbs. Squirrels cleverly hid their winter treasures in its hollows, and weary animals often took peaceful naps in its wide shadow. It was a true marvel, a cornerstone of the ecosystem. But Ethan, in his youthful exuberance, simply never recognized just how incredibly special this silent giant really was. One beautiful, sun-drenched afternoon, Ethan was making his way through the forest, a sturdy stick in his hand. He wasn't really looking for anything in particular, just enjoying the adventure. When he arrived at the massive old oak tree, an idea popped into his head. He started tapping its ancient trunk with his stick. Tap, tap, tap. The sound echoed a little too loudly through the peaceful woods. He wasn't being mean, just thoughtless. He scratched at its rough bark and even tugged a bit at its lower branches, muttering to himself, "What kind of tree are you, anyway? You don't even have any fruit." He didn't understand that not everything is there just for us to take or use. Suddenly, something incredible happened. A deep, resonant voice, as calm and steady as the earth itself, seemed to emanate directly from the tree. "Little boy, why are you hurting me?" Ethan froze. His heart gave a little thump. He spun around, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and surprise, scanning the forest floor and up into the branches. There was no one else there who said that. He whispered, his voice barely audible. The voice came again, just as calm and steady as before. "It's me, little one, the tree." Ethan gasped, his jaw dropping a little. "A tea-talking tree? Are you really talking to me?" He couldn't believe his ears. He'd read about talking trees in storybooks, but this was real. "Yes," the majestic oak replied, its voice gentle and full of wisdom. "I am the oldest tree in this forest. And you, little boy, have been very disrespectful." Ethan's Ethan's shoulders slumped, and he lowered his head, feeling a pang of guilt. "But you're just a tree." "I didn't think it would matter," he said softly, a genuine apology in his tone, even though he hadn't fully understood why. The oak took a deep, slow, almost palpable breath. It felt as if the entire forest held its breath with it, listening. "I am not just a tree, Ethan. I am the very heart of this forest. Birds build their homes in my branches. Countless tiny insects make their lives beneath my bark, and animals find sanctuary and rest in my shade. I gift the very air you breathe. I help hold the soil firmly together so it doesn't wash away. And I call for the rain to nourish the land when it is dry. When you hurt me, little one, you hurt the entire forest. You hurt all the creatures that depend on me, and you even hurt the very air you breathe." Ethan's eyes widened with each word. He had truly never considered any of this before. He suddenly saw the tree not just as wood and leaves, but as a living, breathing being connected to everything around it. The tree continued, its voice full of gentle wisdom. "Nature gives us everything. Ethan, the clean air we breathe, the fresh water we drink, the delicious food we eat, and in return, it asks for only one simple thing: respect. You must learn to listen to nature. Little one, truly listen to the song of the wind rustling through the leaves, the soft whispers of the birds, and the gentle murmur of the stream. These are all nature's voices speaking to us." Ethan slowly, almost reverently, dropped his stick to the ground. He reached out a hesitant hand and touched the ancient tree's trunk. It no longer felt rough or lifeless to his touch. It felt warm, alive. He walked around the tree, his gaze now different, more observant. He noticed the tiny bird nests tucked safely away, the busy little bugs crawling along the bark, the vibrant moss growing on its shaded side. He then sat down gently beneath its wide, comforting branches and began to truly listen. He heard the gentle sighing sound of the wind dancing through the leaves high above, the cheerful, almost melodic chirping of birds flitting from branch to branch, and the soft, soothing murmur of a distant stream winding its way through the woods. For the very first time, Ethan felt a deep, undeniable connection to the forest, as if he was truly a part of it, not just an observer. He felt a sense of belonging he'd never experienced before. "Now you understand, don't you?" the wise old tree asked kindly, its voice full of warmth. "Everything in nature has a spirit, and every spirit, no matter how big or small, deserves our respect, our care, and our love." Ethan nodded, his eyes bright with newfound understanding. "I understand, wise tree. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll never be disrespectful again. Not to you or to any part of this amazing nature." From that day forward, Ethan transformed. He became one of the most respectful children in the entire forest. He no longer just ran through it. He walked with awareness, hugging trees as if they were old friends, marveling at the delicate beauty of wildflowers, and watching the animals with gentle, curious eyes. And whenever he walked through the forest, he could still hear the calm, wise voice of the old oak echoing in his heart, reminding him always that respecting nature is unjust about trees and animals. It means respecting all life, including our own, and cherishing the incredible world we live in. What an amazing lesson Ethan learned, right? It reminds us that every single thing in nature is connected, and our actions, no matter how small, can have a big impact. So let's all be a little more like the new Ethan and show our beautiful planet the respect and love it truly deserves. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful journey today. If you enjoyed Ethan's story and learned something new, please hit that like button. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next adventure. See you next time.